Okay, hi. So yeah, I did this yesterday, and I looked back at it, and it was terrible, and it was disgusting. So I'm redoing it. I'm gonna try to do it really quick. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is start off with my eyes, and that's because um, whenever you're not really used to doing a lot of eyeshadow and stuff, it might get messy. That way you can clean up your face before you do your makeup. So I'm gonna start simply just putting concealer on my eyes, and I'm gonna blend it out. You can blend it out with your finger. I'm taking a damp beauty sponge. This beauty sponge is from Real Techniques. You can get it at any drugstore. And I just really like working with beauty sponges. I think it makes the liquid products to blend out look more natural. Okay, and then so over that, you can actually just keep it like that. You really don't need an eyeshadow primer. So I'm just gonna keep it like that, but I'm gonna set it with a powder. You can set it with a face powder. I'm just gonna go in with the eyeshadow palette that I will be using. It's just a natural palette, it's Maybelline. I got it at Walgreens. It's called the City Mini Palette. And this is in the shade Matte About Town. So I'm just going to set the whole lid with this like neutral color right here. I'm just using like a big paddle eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to set that whole thing. Whenever you put a liquid on, you want to try to set it with powder if you can to make it stay, and also setting this eyeshadow will make the rest of your eyeshadow blend better. That's what I was saying. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of put another different neutral color. I'm going to take this one right here with this fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to, not too carefully, just kind of like blend it into like that crease area of your eye. This is just gonna help transition the eyelid color to the crease color. So just kind of put it back and forth in your crease. You can do windshield wiper motions or circles. I just came back from the pool, by the way, so I'm like sweaty and a little gross. Okay, so once we have that, now I'm going to go into a little bit of a darker shade, and I'm going to use this one right here. The key with eyeshadows and making sure that they blend, that they look blended, with this one, I'm concentrating it just a little bit more in the crease, not too much, just a little more. Anyway, you can kind of fake that you know how to blend by using more and more eyeshadow. So if you can notice, I'm going from like the lightest eyeshadow to the darkest eyeshadow, just so everything looks more blended and more like buffed out. So I put that in my crease, and I'm going to go with even a darker shade, which is this one right here. Pick it up, and then really just put it right in there with a really light hand. If you go in with a heavy hand, you'll get like skipping. Your eyeshadow will like skip, and it won't look, you'll get like little lines in your eyeshadow. So that's why eyeshadow might take a little longer, but it's better to take a little longer and to blend. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just gonna keep this like super neutral. And the next thing is the all over, like the eyeshadow on my lid. So I'm going to take a different brush. I'm gonna go back with this paddle brush. And I'm going to take this like really, really light color. It looks like white on the camera. It's really not. It's like ivory. And I'm just going to put it on my lid. Whoa, it's pigmented. This is the first time I'm using this eyeshadow palette, by the way. I like it. It's fine. It's good. And then we're going to kind of clean up the crease area. So I'm going to take the brush that I just had earlier, dip back into that darkest brown that I used the last time, and slap her in there. All right. The next step is, does it look okay? I'm not gonna do eyeliner yet. So I just wanted to get through that because that was the most eyeshadow that we're gonna be doing. If you need to clean anything up under your eyes, just take a makeup wipe, you know, or a little like makeup remover and just wipe off your eyes. Okay, cool. So that's done. So now we're gonna work on the face a little bit. I'm jumping around a little bit just to make things easier. So I'm gonna put on a face primer. I'm using one from Sephora. It's Cover FX Anti-Aging Face Primer. And I'm taking like a pea-sized amount. If you want to get a face primer from the drugstore, Maybelline Baby Face or Baby Skin is really good. So I'm gonna put that all around my face. And in order to make this last all day or all night, I'm gonna do one extra little step. And that would be to use this Milani primer and setting spray. It's called Make It Last. And it's a 2-in-1 16-hour wear primer and setting spray. So I'm going to spray and let it dry. And this is really gonna help. You can like feel it like locking in your face. So, I mean, it like really significantly helps make it stay on. So after that, I'm going to go use some foundation. And I'm almost out of this one. So I have to put it on kind of weird, but it's the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. It is super, super, super full coverage. Sorry, I have to like dig it out. Sorry. It's super full coverage. If you don't want something as full coverage, I would suggest Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation, which is still considered a full coverage foundation. It's just not like, this is like crazy full coverage. Or yeah, the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless is your best bet. So, okay, again, I'm taking my damp beauty sponge and I'm like pouncing it into my skin. And I really like the effect that the beauty sponge gives to your makeup. If you don't want to use a beauty sponge, a kind of like dense topped kabuki brush works really well, or your hands. You could also use your hands. Okay, and then the next stop after foundation, and I'm not even worrying, by the way, I'm not even worrying about putting this right under my eyes because I'm going to put concealer there. Make sure to blend down to your neck, even like on just to your ears a little bit. I'm trying to go fast and make sure this is all blended at the same time. Okay. Concealer. If you want a full coverage concealer, this is my favorite drugstore one. It's Maybelline Master Conceal, and I'm using the shade Light. It's in a little squeezy tube. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit on my under my eyes, and then any place that I want to like highlight my face to give it some dimension. So those places would be on top of your forehead like this, down the bridge of your nose on the little tippy, Cupid's bow, chin. And again, I'm going to blend all of this out. And don't be like freaking out if it looks crazy right now, which I know it does. Once we put powder on, it'll look a lot better. So while I'm blending this out, for powders, I use 2 different powders usually, and it's because I have like places on my skin where like liquid products really crease a lot. And so I use like a pretty intense powder for those areas, but I don't want my whole face to look like super powdery. So I use a different powder for the rest of my face. So I'm going to finish blending this. And I put the concealer under my eyes in like a triangle shape, and that really helps with brightening your under eyes, making you look more awake, and like lifting your face. Okay, so the key here, I'm going to take out that powder I was saying, the kind of more intense one. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and this is in the shade Fair Light. And so I am going to use it under my eyes first and make sure that there is nothing, you have no creases under there, because whatever you set will stay. So if you have creases or wrinkles, and you set them, they will stay like that. So I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just dip it into the powder and put it under my eyes. And just keep like pressing it into the skin until it kind of like almost like melts into my skin. If you're going to be outside a lot wearing sunglasses, you can do this to the bridges of your nose right here so you don't get those like eyeglass mark things on the sides of your nose. Okay, so I did my under my eyes. Now I'm going to do my forehead. Take all the wrinkles out first. And then I do my smile lines as well. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use that other powder, and it is the Milani Prep Set and Glow powder that I got from Target, I think. Milani's tricky. You can get it at some CVS's, some Walgreens, most Target, I think all Targets, all Walmarts, but it's one of my favorite drugstore makeup brands. So I'm going to take a big powder brush and then just press it into the rest of my skin. And I'm feeling that my face might be a different color than my body right now. It may have gotten a little burnt, but oh well. Okay. So everything's set, and now I actually want to go up and finish my eyes. So I'm going to first curl my lashes and add some eyeliner. And you can do a few different things for the eyeliner. If you are not used to wearing eyeliner and you're a little freaked out by it, you can always just use a brown powder or a black powder or a gray powder. Or I will show you a little trick if you want to use, I typically use liquid. It is like really hard to do, and I have had many years of practice, but liquid, love. If you don't, I will do a pencil, a black charcoal pencil liner, and show you a little trick. So I'm just going to line line my lid. If you can't tell, I'm like so not used to using pencil liner, and I like can't do it. Okay. So this obviously looks a little rough. So if yours looks rough also, where is she? I take like a dense brush like this and just kind of blend it out. And you can really fix like any mistake by doing this. See how it just like made it look a little better. And then after this, you can go back and fill anything in that you missed with the actual liner. Okay. All right, hold on. Sorry. Whew. Okay, my life is like flashing before my eyes. Like, I don't care who you are, eyeliner is intense. Okay, I'm moving on. Eyeliner's on. I'm going to go back to eyeshadow now and highlight my brow bone and the inner corner. You could use a shimmer or you can use a matte. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use that matte that I use on my lid just because it's here. And go right under my brow. And on the inner corner of my eye. All right, and now I'm going to fill in my brows really quick. My favorite brow thing, whatever, to use is Maybelline. Of course it's Maybelline. Maybelline. Okay, here you are. Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Crayon. I am in the shade Blonde, which is weird, but I am. So first I'm going to, on the one end is a little spoolie, and I'm going to just brush my eyebrows out. If you don't want to fill your eyebrows in, you don't have to. But I'm just going to do it lightly. I just kind of like follow the line of the brow at the bottom and then just fill in where I need to. Even if you don't fill in your eyes, your eyebrows, it might be a good idea to get just a little like brow gel to kind of comb through. To make sure the hairs stay in place. All right, and then to blend that out, I'm just gonna comb back through. And then move on to the brow gel. And my brow gel is tinted. You can get tinted or clear. And the brow tint I'm using is, of course, Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. And it looks like a little mascara that you just kind of brush through your brows. All right, next stop is optional. I'm going to do under my eyes now. So I always use a nude or like a peach colored or a white eyeliner pencil for my waterline down here, because it just makes you look more awake and makes your eyes look bigger. And this part is also optional. I'm going to take a little pencil brush like this and take some of this kind of neutral brown color and just kind of place it under my eyes. Just bring everything together. I'm gonna take a little bit of that darker one. Not a lot, just a little. I'm gonna sweep it under. Okay, and now it's time for mascara. And I use 2 types of mascara, but like the same mascara. So it's going to be the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Original. And I am first gonna do 2 coats of this on each top lash. To make your eyelashes look their best, use a mirror that's like this, flat, and look down into it so you can get way down to the root of the lash to make your lashes look really long. And then the reason why so I'm gonna do 2 coats of this on both eyes, and then I'm going to use the same mascara, the L'Oreal Voluminous, but in waterproof. And the reason why I do that is because I want my mascara to stay. I don't want it running down my face. I don't want it transferring. And so typically you would just use a waterproof mascara. Well, whenever you take off a waterproof mascara, it is the worst to take off. It's like impossible. It's like glued to your eyelashes. You end up ripping eyelashes off. So what I found was by using a regular mascara first, and then just kind of setting it with a waterproof. So here's the waterproof one. It helps your mascara to stay put and to not transfer, and it's also not hard to take off at the end of the day. So there you go. I'm going to also use the waterproof mascara to put just a little thin layer on my lower lashes as well. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and finish the face. So I'm first going to start, I love highlighter, we all know that. So I'm going to start off with a liquid highlighter first, and that is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Hello Halo in Gilded Glow. So here it is, and Wet n Wild, again, you can get at pretty much any drugstore. And I'm going to, it has a little doe foot, like concealer. I'm going to put it right, like a little line at the top of my cheeks. and in most of those highlighted areas that we put the concealer. So on the top of my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, a little tippy tip, Cupid's bow. And then with my damp beauty sponge, blend her on out. And then I'm going, on top of that, I'm going to add my powder highlight in just a second. I'm also going to use a Wet n Wild powder highlight. I mean, they're like literally $2 or $3 and they're so good. So the one I have is Wet n Wild highlighting powder in Blossom Glow. So I'm going to take this tiny kind of blending brush first and take it down the bridge of my nose. My Cupid's bow. Okay, that's done. And then a little bit bigger of a blending brush and put it on top of that liquid highlighter. Next, I'm going to bronze my face a little bit. And I am going to take the Bare Minerals Loose Powder in Warmth. And like the tiniest bit goes a long way. But other bronzers I like, Wet n Wild has a really good bronzer. I'm going to put this like right under my highlight and just kind of bronze up where like the sun would hit my face. So my cheeks, this is not, I'm not contouring right now, I'm just bronzing. So you can be a little bit more loose with your placement. Up to my forehead. Okay, and then now I'm going to contour. For contouring, you want to use a color that is maybe like 2 or 3 shades darker than your skin tone. That's not too cool, not too warm. You kind of have to find a good balance. And I'm going to try one for the first time today, which, hold on. Oh my gosh. Ah! Okay, hold on. There's a lot going on. Okay. I literally got it. Hold on. Can never find this brush that I need. Okay, so I'm going to take a small flat brush again to use for my nose contouring. This is like an extra step that I do. Sorry, I'm trying to like place this mirror. It's like impossible. Okay, an extra step that I do. It's not really necessary, but here I go. I'm using the NYX like blush. Oh, it's a blush. It's essentially a blush, but it's in the color taupe. Got this at Walgreens. It's this, looks like this. So it's not too cool tone, not too warm tone. I'm gonna dip my brush in and just kind of take it on the side of my nose. Yeah, that's good. I like that. And blend it up to the brow like your nose goes, and I'm going to take it under my nose right here so my nose looks a little shorter and kind of make a little almost exclamation mark with that. I'm going to blend it out a little bit with this kind of like flat topped blending brush just so we have no harsh lines, and then I am now going to contour my face. So I'm going to take 2 different brushes. It really doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm gonna, I need to contour my double chin. You do not, but I am. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then blend it out. And then to contour your cheeks, I'm still taking the same NYX thing. Literally all you do, and I typically use a brush like this that's like kind of thin, but even if you only like have a brush like this, that's fine. Just like press it, okay? And so to know the placement, you have to go like this. Okay. Okay, we're contoured. You can go up to your whatever if you want. What's that called? Forehead. Great. All right, blush. One of my favorite blushes, it's a really neutral colored blush. It's Milani, again, of course, in Romantic Rose. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the apples of my cheeks and then blend it back. Apples, blend it back. Okay. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna set my face again, or set it using this spray again, the Milani Make It Last. And then something that I do, because I love a good highlight. So I'll spray my face. Wait till it's not like soaked, but like, you know, damp. Take the highlight again. And just go a little bit. Look at the, woo! There's nothing better than highlight. And then for lips, I picked this up today and I was excited about it. It's a NYX Lip Lingerie. I've never used them before. I love NYX though. I'm using it in the shade, really? Oh, Lace Detail. And it looks like this. And I got it at Walgreens. So let's just see what happens. It's lighter than I thought. Okay, I don't know. I like it. It's fine. It's okay. Do I have like a... All right. Well, that's it. How... Ooh! Sorry. Let me show you in sunlight how it looks. So you know.